Welcome to the Dirty Business Podcast. We have Mo. Hi. I'm Janelle. And Janelle.
Dramatic pause.
I didn't know where I was going with that. We got the arm.
Hi.
And today we have Bridget.
Yay.
Miss Bridget Boots. And she is a marketing and business consultant. I go to her a lot and she helps me out a lot.
Yay.
Bridget.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
And it's your birthday.
Convincing me
Oh,
to
yes.
come.
It's your birthday.
Yay. What better way to spend the day than with us in Janelle's
That's
basement?
what I thought. I'm like, I could like take the day off.
I'm like, you want to do a podcast on this day? And she's like, well, that's my birthday. I'm like, okay, then you have to.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
I think it's fun.
So when we were chatting about what we wanted to talk about, a couple of books that you recommended to me that I have read, and one of them kind of inspired us. We want to kind of have all of our podcast, what do you call you people?
Yes. Those are called guests, Janelle. She's a guest.
Guests.
In the basement.
Recommend a book. And I think that'd be fun because I love that in a podcast. If someone recommends a book, I usually always go read it. And so you had a bunch.
So many.
Yes, because you're always reading and you're always giving me good books to read. But I think the one we're going to kind of touch on is...
It's called Company of One
Thank you, Bridget.
by Paul Jarvis.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Someone recommended it to me.
Yeah.
And now I recommend it to most small businesses.
Yeah.
Tell us all about it.
Yeah, so I think most importantly, it kind of just has you rethink what growth looks like for your small business. So I think a lot of entrepreneurs, myself included, got into business because they wanted more time. I wanted a business that supports my life and not a life that supports my job. And I think, we are told constantly, like, we're almost like have to grow to be successful.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like, that's not always what is necessary to be successful. I think a lot of people think when you have, multiple businesses or like a really popular business that you're profitable and you're successful. And a lot of the times, like, those come with higher expenses.
Yeah.
Like staff, and then now you have a whole new set of responsibilities. You're not just supporting yourself, but you're responsible of all these other people.
Yeah.
Or you got into a business because you love doing what you're doing. So for instance, like if you loved, I don't know, teaching yoga, and now all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm gonna open a studio. Now you're just managing yoga teachers, and you're not even like teaching as much, or like.
Yeah.
So you're more managing the people versus, or like building websites, for instance. Like you grow a team and now you're just managing people that
do the
make
things.
websites, and you're rarely doing the thing that brings you
doing.
joy.
Yeah.
And they say the more money you make, the more you spend. So you're like, is your profit margin really even enough?
Right.
And now you're like stuck to a computer or stuck on the phone, and like, so there's things I think that we need to reevaluate before we decide to grow. And growth is not always a bad thing. Like we were talking about VRBO or Airbnb. Like Airbnb would not succeed without thousands and thousands of properties. That's part of their success.
Yeah.
But you look at like a consulting business and people are like, oh, are you going to grow? And I'm like, I don't know. I think I'm good.
Right.
Yeah.
And you look at,
Well, how many people can you really sustain?
yeah, without bringing on more people.
Right.
And then you take a hit.
Yeah.
And then you're,
Then you have to pay them.
yeah. So I think it's not saying growth is bad. Like I work for people that, have grown a lot, and those that are like staying small. And I think it just matters like why you got in business in the first place.
Yeah.
Constantly just checking in with yourself.
Yeah, and checking your ego. And like, are you just growing because you're envious of someone who has a bigger company? Like, you don't know everything.
Yeah.
Or,
We don't know what their books look like.
Yeah. The internet and social media is a dangerous thing, right? Like comparing yourself to others when you honestly could be making more money than the person that has like a big agency.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
Because their expenses
Exactly.
are bigger.
Yeah, like what's
Yeah.
your profit margin? And like how much is enough?
Yeah.
Like it's not always about like growing and constantly growing because that leads to burnout. And I know you guys have talked about that before, but
Yeah.
it's like,
Well, I've talked to like a gym, for instance. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like people can understand that better. But it's like, okay, we have 150 members and we have so much staff. Okay. Well, if we want 200 members, now we have to bring on another. We have more staff. Now our facility needs to be bigger. Like if you comprehend it in like terms like that, well, at the end of the day, yeah, now we have, 200 members or 300 members, but now we're paying out more. We have to get a bigger facility. And now
more
our
maintenance.
more maintenance. And now our problems are bigger. Insurance needs to be bigger. And at the end of the day, how much are you really making more than if you would have just stuck to the smaller business?
Yeah.
And I don't think people really like realize that. It's like, oh, you're big and successful. And it's like, I don't know.
Lots more responsibilities.
Yeah.
I think about that with my business too, because it would be really nice to, like in the really busy months, I'm like, man, if I had like an extra set of hands and another brain to take on some of this, that would be so nice. But then like in the slower months, I'm like, holy shit, if I had somebody else on my team right now, like this would be a struggle because it's just in my industry, things change, businesses, budgets change. And so I'm like, if I had somebody else, I was like feeding their family, paying their bills, like that would be so stressful.
Yeah. And the book company one, it does talk about that too, but it's
Yeah.
also like rely on freelancers. When you're
Yeah.
busy, like you can pick them up and then they have other income streams. So
Yeah.
they're not like entirely reliant on you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think growth isn't always the answer. And, regardless of what side you're on, like the economy is going to see a big shift sometime. And you think the smaller your business, the actually more successful you'll probably be able to like ride that wave out because you're not supporting other people and your margins are a little bit more flexible too. A lot of small businesses don't survive. Like, I think like businesses in general, like the average length of a business is like 10 years.
That's
which
crazy.
isn't that long.
Yeah.
But I think that
Corporation or
changes.
not.
I think that changes for different reasons, though. Like, so I started out as a massage therapist, and I was doing so many massages, which I'm sure a lot of massage therapists will do this. They overwork themselves, and then, so I still am passionate about massage. I still enjoy it. So now I only do 6 to 7 a week, but I have another stream of income. So you have
Or
to
you raise your
obviously
prices
sure.
to a point where it like evens out. Massage is a little different, I think.
Yeah.
but-
So then it's like now I do Vitality, but then I was stuck there. So I'm stuck at the front desk and I can't take any vacations and I'm there all the time. And that's, like you said, lifestyle. You have to think about, well, why did you become an entrepreneur? Well, so I could be with my kids more. Well, then it's like, okay, so why don't I just pay someone to then be there? I've created a sustainable business. People enjoy it. They're getting benefits. And I'm still there once a week because I still enjoy
like
seeing
it,
the clients and I still enjoy helping people. So it's just finding that balance.
Yeah, you still need to have a pulse on your business, like
Right.
the complaints and because you're constantly evolving. Businesses and people evolve, so it's like someone might come in and they're like complaining about the same something, or you hear it from another person. You're like, how do I incorporate that into my business?
Yeah.
I would say it's a lot easier to focus on the clients or customers you have and grow your services with them than trying to acquire a brand new person.
I was hearing something about that the other day, that it costs X amount more to bring on a new client
It's
rather
5
than
to 8%.
rather than just keeping your current clientele and growing with them.
I'd say every single client I have has added services,
Yeah.
and I haven't had to add new clients.
New client.
Yeah.
And I already know their business. So
That's
it's
perfect. Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
And it's a lot, it's cleaner. You don't have that I'm sure when you start a new client, you're not really
God.
profiting in the first couple months because
Yeah.
you're spending so much time.
The onboarding process alone.
Yeah, but you're
Yeah.
you make your profit because once you know them, it's like you have that relationship and they know you. And, but yeah, I think retaining customers and how do you grow your services and your support for them without having to scale your business up.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's so many different businesses. That would be like more consultant, but like even if you offer so many more things now than you were offering when you started.
Well, you just have to veer. So if something isn't as popular, then you have to
Pivot.
But because you're small, you're able to do that.
Right.
Like if you were a bigger company,
It'd be harder.
yeah, you have to, there's a lot more steps you need to take.
Yeah.
But I think that also makes you more resilient in economy, being able to shift whenever you can.
It's true.
Adjust your pricing up or down.
Yeah.
You know, I'm working with a client right now and they're like a yoga studio. I don't know why yoga's on my mind, probably because I need it more. But it's like times are tough and people don't have the money
Yeah.
to spend, you know, $100+ on yoga when they're like struggling to put food on the table. And so it's like, okay, so how do we restructure our pricing to like yoga is the thing you need when life gets tough.
Yeah.
So it's like they're looking at cutting their pricing in half.
Oh my God.
But so we ran the numbers, like how many people do you need to sustain your business and is that doable?
Yeah.
And it is. And so they're going to try it. And if it doesn't work, then they go back to what they were doing. But it's like,
They're able to veer like that.
yeah, which is like initially when they said that, I was like, hold on. Like,
Yeah, let's not get crazy.
let's be real. Yoga studios do not make any money. I
Yeah.
don't know if anyone knows that, but like they're not into like yoga studios to get rich.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the margins are very, very small. I would assume maybe not so much gyms because you have a massive amount of people, but like a yoga studio can only fit so many people.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, are you sure you can do this? And man, good old spreadsheets.
Yes.
And run the numbers. And it's like, okay, we just need 200 members. They're not coming every day, but like it's available to them and it's like a community service.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay. And it made me think of like in grad school, there's like a Harvard Business Review case study. We had to, you know, analyze it. But like the Crunch Fitnesses of the world or like the Planet Fitness, like, you know, you pay $10 a month. If every member that had one of those memberships actually used the gym, they would go out of business.
Yes. The thing is, I think when your membership is so low,
Yeah, you
$10,
don't think about canceling
$20,
it.
you don't think about canceling
Yeah,
it.
it's just on repeat, and you're like, whatever.
Now, when you have a membership that's $100 or $200 or $400, I mean, you know that membership exists,
Yep. It's
and
gonna get
you're
a
not
dent.
going to forget about it. But when you do have a membership that's $10 or $20, you're like, well,
I might go.
might.
Even if I
10 or
go a
20
couple
bucks.
times.
yeah, and I really should go.
Yeah, but if every single member went, like you couldn't staffing, like we were mentioning with gyms before, like staffing, maintenance on machines,
That's
like
crazy.
Yeah.
they would literally go out of business.
They're literally banking on people not coming.
right.
Let's have the prices
is
so
kinda
low
icky
that
in a
they don't
way.
care if they don't come.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I mean, that's gift cards too.
Yeah.
How many gift cards do people are unused? Probably over 50%, I'm guessing. I
Yeah.
don't really know the statistics
I mean,
on
I
that.
have so many gift cards in my purse right now.
Yeah.
Me too.
yours.
Let's go shopping.
And I shop there.
Let's
and
go
I'm
shopping
like,
for your
I
birthday.
forgot I had a gift card.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But they made a lot of money off of you not spending it.
Yeah. But as a business owner, you have to make sure that you're accounting for that expense like 6 months from now when they do decide to use the business card, right?
Yep. It's true.
Because you're like, oh, I made all this money in January.
Yeah, Christmas.
And then all
Yeah.
these people came in March and used business card, and now I don't have any cash flow that month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's the fun of business. It's like,
So fun.
It's like, is it fun?
I think it is. I mean,
So
you just have to
fun.
know your numbers at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like, what's your bottom line? And do you have like and put a safety net in as a small business, right? Like, no one's paying you to go on vacation, like we were talking about, right? Like, but treat yourself as an employee, regardless of if you're like, you know, actually paying yourself as an employee or it's your own business. But like, put money away for a rainy day, so that like maybe you had a sick family member and you had to leave for a week. Like, so you're not stressed.
Yeah. You're so logical, Bridget.
I feel like you're doing that right now, though. You're reevaluating your business.
Yeah.
You're figuring out what you really like, what really you enjoy,
Yeah.
what your clientele you like, and you're veering.
Yeah.
And is that because you were spending too much time, like you're spending more time than you wanted to? Or
Yeah.
what is it about? Why are you veering?
Why am I burning it all down and starting over again?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say you're burning it all down.
No, you're just
moving
veering.
it to a
Just
different
mentally.
city.
Yeah, you're just
Yeah.
moving. It's fine.
Is it because, like, when you start a business, you kind of just do whatever
Yeah.
Yeah.
people will take?
Yeah.
And then now you're
yeah.
kind of like,
Yeah, very much a yes man in the beginning, which is
have to be.
fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine because I can do it all, and it is just hours of me working. It's not like it costs me. I mean, now, yeah, there's some costs in there, like subscriptions to different platforms and editing apps and like all those
Equipment.
like all those things. But yeah, when you're in this like content creation, social media industry, like there's not much overhead. So I can say yes to all the different random projects and say yes to the different demands because it is just my time. But now at this point, it's my time and I'm busier. I have bigger clients that have more needs for me. That's fine because the money is there. Not that I just am out for money, but dollars and cents wise for my time, if I have one that's paying me this much money for A, B, and C, and then I have one that's paying me this much money for more than this client,
yeah.
it's like, okay, I need to shift that.
When this one asks for something on the weekend, you're like,
Yeah.
Well, when this one asks for something on the weekend, you're like, okay.
And this one's literally telling me, hey, it's 6 o'clock, go have dinner with your family, stop texting me.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's
Right.
crazy.
They have boundaries for you.
Right. Hey, we're on spring break.
They
Sorry, I
respect
can't get
your-
back to you
yeah.
right now. Okay. Yeah.
So right now you're just kind of reevaluating your clients and being
Yeah.
like, okay, I need ones that respect my time
Yeah.
and value what I'm offering them
Yeah.
and paying me
And
what
understand it on like a
Right.
global, not even a global, just like what I do. I talk to my friend, my assistant, ChatGPT,
A good friend.
my sweet unpaid assistant.
Yeah.
Because I had a client reach out from the Bay Area and I was like, okay, let's think, what are those prices in the Bay Area? Because I'm in Southern Oregon and those prices in the Bay Area are way more than what they are here. So if I'm going to price that client or send out a proposal, I want it to match where they're at too, where they're getting their numbers from,
Sure.
not what Southern Oregon's willing to pay. Because here in Southern Oregon, we're like 10 years behind everybody. Like financially, trend-wise, like everything, we're really behind. And so people here, the pockets are so small. But like the Bay Area, they expect to pay 10 grand a month for what I do.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I'm not going to price them what the people here are willing to pay because I know they expect they're going to pay a lot more.
You could be on the lower end, but
Right.
still.
Yeah, I can lowball them on their end and
Sure.
still be triple what people here are paying. So
Right.
I think it also comes down to like, how do you value your time and your
Yeah.
hour? Like, I have an hourly rate in my head. That's
Yeah.
how I bill or like invoice people. And
Yeah.
like, okay, this project's going to take me 10 hours at a rate of X, like, regardless of location.
yeah,
Like, client in Australia, like, they pay the same price as for what, like, in my head, hourly than
Yeah.
someone in Southern Oregon. But that's like the price that I've,
Right.
and until I get so busy,
yeah,
then my rates go up
yeah,
until it balances back out. But like, what is that? I think it just depends on the person. Like, how do you,
Yeah.
like, what do you feel good at? Not
Yeah.
necessarily maybe like what they could pay.
I think that's my problem because I have been, I don't know, I just keep getting these clients that are like,
Undervaluing your-
yeah, let's talk about your pricing. And I'm like, well, you know, I
We've
get
talked about our
it.
blueprint before.
I know.
And so it's good that you're evaluating what the going rate is because your blueprint
Yeah.
needs to be reconfigured.
I know.
And I think you have to do that regularly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm doing it too.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, I don't know if I like this, but it like pays
Totally.
the bills.
Right.
But is it like giving me energy at the end of the day, or am I
Yeah.
just like,
is it getting you out of bed?
No.
Or are you like,
Yeah.
ooh, not again?
right?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
like back to what you said, it was like, well, when you start a business, I started massage or health and wellness, but now I'm, making websites and Instagram and my accounting and I'm all these other things aside from this person that people come to for knowledge on health and wellness.
Yeah.
It's like the majority of my time is spent doing all this admin stuff that I don't necessarily enjoy, just so that I could do a little bit of this health and wellness stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you just need to build systems too.
Yeah.
It's like, I know everyone's like systems, but it's like true with
work.
AI and like automation. Like setting up an automated email when someone signs up, like they automatically get X number of emails from you on a steady schedule to inform them about
All the things.
all the health and wellness things. And then you send out like a bi-weekly, monthly newsletter, which I know you do. But it's like, doesn't matter if you're sending that to 2 people or 200 people. It's still the same amount of work. So like, how do you optimize your admin time?
Yeah.
I know Motion is one of my favorites, and I know you already talked about it, but like that was like a game changer for me. And I tell everybody who has like a task-oriented business, especially someone like that is managing multiple clients, like before I would just hold that all in my head.
It's
like,
a
oh,
lot.
I need to do this,
Stressful.
I need to do that. And then I'd be like, in my mind, I'd be like, oh, I have to do all of that today.
Right now.
Which is not the case. And this app, it's like AI, it's like an AI executive assistant, and you like
I love
plug
it.
in what you need to do. Like, I need to create this post. It'll take me 30 minutes. Really, the deadline's not until 2 weeks from now. Yeah, schedule it on there, and it just basically, it's a plug and play.
That's
You don't get
amazing.
to it, it moves it to a different day. If you're like, if you won't meet your deadline, it like alerts you, and so you can
Nice.
prioritize
It's literally
things.
an assistant. Like, hey, don't forget.
It
I
has
love that.
like, I'm like such a, or like the other, I mean, this is like a month or so ago, like, in my mind, I'm like, oh, I have so much to do today. And my husband's like, oh, well, I took my truck in to get the oil changed, but it won't be like done for a few hours. Do you want to like go get lunch and like hang out while I'm waiting? And I'm like, old
can
me
hang
would have
out.
been like, no, I have way too much to do.
Yeah.
And then I looked at it and I was like, I don't have to do any of this today. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll be right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it was just
Amazing.
kind of cool to like still know you're getting your work done.
Yeah.
And I swear, like, things that would have taken me 8 hours now take me 4.
And a lot of that 8 hours is it just swirling in your head, overwhelming you.
100%.
Like, I
And you're getting
can't.
distracted.
Yeah, I can't focus. Like we talked about it, I work from home. And so not only do I have that list, I have everything else popping up around me and all the children, all their shit everywhere, my dough I have to make
Yeah.
to feed
Priorities.
my family.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, I don't think I've cleaned the grout in a while. I'm going to do that too. And then the list is just still sitting here.
I need to
I'm
call
like,
so and so.
yeah, it's just the worst. And I know you're getting really good at this too with your motion and hiring people to do stuff for you, like, which is huge for you because you're a do it all.
Yes, but it has been, I'm so much less stressed.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm going to be completely vulnerable and honest right now.
Yeah.
When you do normally have that in your head, that is your identity, that you are a busy person.
You
And
did not do.
yeah. And so when you're not a busy person, I know that I'm being productive because my emotion is telling me that I'm being productive.
Yeah, you're
Like,
checking things off.
I'm checking things off, but
Yeah.
I'm getting it done more efficiently and in a timely manner. Now I'm actually able to like sit and enjoy being with my kids while they're doing homeschool, or being with my daughter and coloring with her on her days off, versus me
Spiraling.
unproductively sitting there while she wants me to play with her, spiraling all
Yeah,
this
I'm the
stuff.
queen of spiraling.
Yeah. Welcome to the club.
Maybe
like-
that should be the name of this podcast.
Yeah.
Right? It just like spirals
Yeah.
in my head, and
It's like all these tabs
unproductive.
open. Yeah.
It's so unproductive. And but for whatever reason, that's my identity. Is like, I am so busy
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like, I now have to cope with the fact that I'm still a good human. I'm a good person. I'm a good business owner, and I'm not busy.
Yeah. You're just overwhelmed.
Does that make sense?
Spiraling.
Everyone, yeah.
So I have to like retrain my body to. It's almost like I took a 3-hour nap because
Oh my God.
I know I wasn't really napping. I was just kind of laying there because I'm like,
Rest,
it's almost
You were
like a
so
dopamine
close.
hit. Is it
So close
dopamine
to resting.
or adrenaline,
It's
or
still
what is
resting.
it that you get from the spiral?
Oh,
You
is
get,
that?
like-
Well, you're like
Is that
stuck
a
in
thing?
fight or flight too.
Yes. So my
Okay.
body is used to like having
God.
this adrenaline of like stress, and now I just took that away, and now I don't know what to do with
And then you
it.
just get like this, like the.
Can
all
I
of a
tell
sudden
you?
your body just gets heavy.
Yeah, I'm actually really nervous about that.
Why?
Maybe am I an addict? Do I have a problem?
No, I'm an addict to being busy.
Okay,
I mean,
because
that's
I'm addicted to
chronic
busy.
stress.
Yes.
That's burnout, basically.
you know what's so funny? I had an appointment with Whitney. She went over my labs, and I keep seeing all this stuff on my feed about a high cortisol. What do you do about it and whatever? My cortisol's at like 7. Like
Oh, I
it's,
have low cortisol.
it's
Do
non-existent.
you know what low cortisol is? It's because
Chronic
you've been in.
stress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stress.
Yeah, and she's like, so
Yeah.
you used to work night shift, like that's a
That
problem.
was like a 4.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you
I
have 4
consistently
kids.
low cortisol.
Yeah, and she's like, you're just so stressed all the time. I'm like, that's so crazy because I don't feel it.
Yeah,
But
I
you
don't
do.
feel stressed.
that's what I
It's
said
like
too.
a new level.
Yeah, she's like, well, that's just because that's your baseline. So
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, and I
Who
think
am
when
I
you
without
do
it?
start to like switch the narrative, right?
Oh, God.
You feel so tired.
I feel depressed.
And yeah, like
Oh, I
you're
don't
just
like
like
that.
down because your body is just like
Yes.
so used to being like
Like
on
up.
edge.
Yeah.
Like it can't distinguish between like running for your life
Yeah.
and like
Being
hating
excited.
your coworker.
Yeah.
Like
oh man,
but
I don't
it's like
want to.
stress is what's gonna kill us, which is like what I was telling you. Like
Yeah.
that hustle culture like
Yeah.
is so unhealthy. And I like I am the queen of the hustle
Yeah.
until like last year. Like I did all the things. I had a social life. I like went like my career was like blossoming.
Yeah.
Like
You were
but
doing
I
it
was
all.
sick all the time.
Oh God.
Like any cold, I would like get sick and
You
I'd
were
be
out.
down for like 2 weeks. It was like my body didn't know how to rest until it was like at the most inconvenient time.
Literally
right?
like on your deathbed.
And
like
that
either
saying
you
is,
get
like,
sick and rest
you either
or
rest or
Yeah.
your body will rest, like make you rest.
Oh, God.
And it was like every time I went on a trip, I would get sick. Like I was doing IVs, I was doing injections, like supplements. So my diet is like super clean,
yeah.
and it's just like
It was
I haven't gotten
stress.
sick. I've gotten sick maybe once. My husband's came home with the flu like 3 times, and I haven't gotten sick.
Amazing.
We sleep in the same bed.
Yeah.
Like old me,
Close
like would have
quarters.
been like,
Yeah.
cool. Well, I guess I'm gonna go on my deathbed now for the
Yeah.
next month.
Yeah.
But it's like, or I don't start to feel like icky, and I'm like, I'm gonna take the morning,
Huh.
and it's like crazy how your
What a
body,
crazy
like your
concept.
body can like take care of itself. We
Yeah.
just don't like give it a moment.
Yeah.
We all have like different energy levels too. I know. It's harder to like. I've been like, and that's the thing. It's like I've been like was like so into. I'm like I'm gonna shift this. Like
Yeah.
I'm a new person.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why am I still so freaking tired? Like I'm doing all the things. I'm
Yeah.
working less.
Yeah.
I'm like getting my morning sun.
Yeah.
I'm like taking long walks.
There you go.
Like I'm doing all the things, and I'm
Yeah.
like I'm exhausted by 3
Right.
p.m.
Yeah.
Right. You're like, what have I
And
done
I'm
today?
like, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
And it's like at the end of the day, it's like I was talking to someone recently about like different energy types, and like I'm trying to like use that knowledge to like build my business, and like I need more rest. And I'm like, I think we grow up and be like, rest is for like the weak.
The week.
Like I have been
I'll sleep when I'm
high
dead.
functioning person on 0 sleep for like the last 30 something years. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna say exactly how many numbers.
For your birthday today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, I could do it.
Yeah.
But like, is that really like? It's almost like an identity crisis, like you were saying. Like,
It is.
Yeah.
and I have to grieve that old identity.
Yep.
And I cried, and I'm not a crier.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like,
I
what
can't
do you
do this.
mean?
I'm
like,
leaving.
like my entire identity is not supporting
Yeah.
who I am. Like, how do you stop? Like, how do you not do that? How do you
Right.
say no?
It's an addiction. How do you quit?
Like when you see people that need your help and you know you can help them. Like, how do you take a step back and say, like, I really don't have time for that?
It's just a couple hours out of my day. I can do that.
Yeah.
I can miss out on another hour or 2 of sleep. It's fine.
Yeah, but it's like not, because like at the end of the day, stress is what's going to kill us. Like all these chronic health conditions, like are all tied to stress. Your gut is tied to stress.
Oh
like
God. I have the worst guts.
it's just like I don't know. We have to stop like thinking we can just push through things.
Oh,
and even like
God.
starting a business, if your business is only successful because you are grinding 24/7,
Right.
that is not a successful business. That means you cannot run that business long
Forever.
term.
Yeah.
So like
Shoot.
I think you're doing
You're
pretty
doing
good.
Feels like an intervention.
Yeah, actually, we're not recording at all. This is
Yeah,
just for
nothing's
you.
on. We just need to talk to you.
But it's like I think what you're doing and like evaluating, like,
Yeah.
what do you want to do?
Yeah.
like
What makes you happy? What drains you?
Yeah.
Get rid of the things that drain you. Get rid of
Yeah.
the people that
always
drain
gonna
you.
be things that
Sure.
like
You
you
don't
running
wanna
a
do.
business,
Yeah.
and that's just life. But if
Yeah.
it's like
I hate
90% of what you're doing, you're not doing it right.
Yeah.
Like no one's gonna give you an award for working 80 hours a week.
No, and what's funny is like, since I am a freelancer or whatever, my clients don't know how many clients I have. They, in their minds, just like a patient at a hospital or a doctor's office, they feel like they're the only patient or the only client. And so they don't think like, oh, if I text her at night, it's fine because she always helps me at night and she always gets back to me and whatever. And there's nobody else. I'm her only client. You know, like what else could she be doing except for my work for me?
Yeah. But do you tell, like, I think that's also, you have to train, just
Yeah.
like doctors train their patients.
Yeah.
Like you have to train your
Like I have a
clients
schedule.
too.
I have many clients. I have full books.
Or be like, I have 2 projects in front of you. I'm happy
Yeah.
to get this done by
For
next
sure.
Friday. In my head, I'm like, oh, I could totally get this done by Wednesday. But I'm
Right.
like, I'm going to give myself a 2-day grace period. Then
Just
when I
in case.
return it on
Yeah.
Wednesday, they're like, oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Yeah, for sure.
That might be a little deceptive, but maybe not.
No, but I
No,
think
it's
that's
better.
important.
Isn't
yeah.
that insane?
Expectations.
Yeah.
It's
Because things come up. You're a human. You're
Oh
running your own
yeah,
business.
and sometimes
like,
it does take me until Friday, and it's like
Yeah.
I'm still getting it to them when they need it.
Yeah.
something like over deliver and
Under
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, feels like a saying.
under promise, over deliver.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So kind of
Yeah.
it's the same thing.
It is, and I think it works because, like, at the end of the day, then they have that trust. Like when you say, like, the worst thing you can do is say you're going to do something and not do it.
Yeah.
My thing is I have a thing in my head that I say I don't message anyone back past 7
Yeah.
p.m. And then someone will message me
Like
and I
me.
have my phone on me. No, I usually message you
I
back.
know you
do. But people from work, right,
Yeah.
messaging me, and I'm like, I could message them back.
But it's the
then
boundary.
I set the standard that I
Yeah.
will message them back at 7
Yeah.
p.m. And then I'm like, nope.
I've actually tried like emails and like text. Like I see it because I'm like on my computer or whatever. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I could just write them back. I'm like, no, take a breath.
No.
Wait at least 10 minutes.
It's okay.
Because we're not all, like, biologically, we're not made to, like, have this much
Yeah.
at us at all times. We're not, like, made to be able to, like, respond that
Yeah.
quickly. Like,
Yeah.
Crazy.
so it,
We used to have to like walk to people's houses.
Ew.
yeah. Or even, like, landlines. Like, if you
Yeah.
weren't home,
Yeah.
no one
go-
could get in touch
Sorry,
with you.
You left a message.
Yeah,
and then
you're
the
gonna
next
have to be
day-
patient.
And we all
Yes.
Yeah.
survived.
It's wild.
Like, I have to remind myself when I'm like, oh, I didn't get to that project. Like, did anyone die?
I know.
No.
We just talked about
just
that.
talked about
yeah, because I took a Sunday off.
Weekend off.
Yeah. And she took a day off. I'm like, what?
And it was all still there when we got back.
Yeah,
weird.
it's crazy. Nothing bad happened.
Nothing bad happened.
But it felt
Sometimes
so
it's
weird.
actually better because it works itself out and you didn't have to do anything
Oh
in the
my
first
gosh.
place.
I didn't call someone back one time and I was busy, whatever. And then normally I'm like right on it, right? I answer, always answer. Hours later, it worked. They're like, oh, I figured it out. I'm like, oh, I should do that more often.
I love that.
I should not call them back.
Especially
So
for
then-
that person. Like, I'm that person. People are like, an issue, they come to me. Even though it's
Yeah.
not even like,
It's not a you problem.
not even my department.
No.
Or my job. Like,
No.
But I'm like, oh yeah, I know the answer. Here you go. You should contact this person.
And I think
like-
a lot of people would rather just message somebody than to actually look it up themselves.
Literally,
Critical thinking.
I
Yeah.
And
sent
it helps people, your employees,
train
or
'em.
like,
Yeah.
to critical think.
I had somebody asking me some questions, and she wasn't even a client. She wanted to be, but couldn't. And she was still asking me all these questions. So I literally Googled what she was looking for,
Screenshotted it.
screenshot the Google thing,
Google. Oh,
and
I love
sent it to her.
Way to be passive aggressive.
I mean,
I think
was
there's a more
so
direct thing to say.
simple.
Well, that's the thing is
I don't
sometimes when
know.
people ask me something, I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm going to have to Google it.
Yeah.
So then I'm going to Google it, and then I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
Just say, I don't know.
I could.
We don't like that. We know everything. And if we don't, our assistant does. So,
I'm just saying.
yeah, no, maybe it was
as a
passive aggressive.
because like,
but
boundaries,
well, no,
for
because
sure.
sending them, I don't know if that really got the message across.
No,
Like
'cause-
she's still gonna ask you questions.
yeah.
I mean, there's,
I just didn't want to be rude and be
I
like, well,
know.
I'm going to have to Google this for you. So maybe you should just Google it.
there's a
It's
rude.
It's all or nothing. It's all or nothing. It's either I'm going to do the whole thing for you, or I'm going to have to be an
I know.
asshole and tell you, like,
No,
just
I get
fucking
that.
Google
Well,
it.
No, I get that too, 100%. That is like,
can't- there's
I'm
no
all in
middle.
or not in at all.
Yeah.
But
So
like,
you ask
I've
a
been
busy
like
person to do something, then they'll get it done. It's just
training
like,
They'll just do it for you.
myself
Yeah.
Yeah.
to be like, I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah.
Or if like someone, like one of
But
my
they
clients
don't like
is
that
asking,
when you normally always know the answer.
Yeah.
so what?
Great.
don't
There's
like
Bridget. She
boundaries.
doesn't know anything anymore.
Or like, I think when you have a client and they're like, hey, can you do this for me? You're like, that's not really in my scope of work.
That is the worst.
And so like my
And that's where
response
I'm
will be
at right
like,
now.
I am I will absolutely be able to do this, but
Yeah.
it is going to take me extra time
Yeah.
outside of what we agreed to.
Yeah.
I'm happy to do it for X amount of money.
Yeah.
That's what you need to do.
Ow!
You need to have.
I do that all the time, and they're like, yeah, of course, no
Hours.
problem. Like in my contract, it says any work outside of this scope will be X amount of dollars per hour.
That's what your contract needs to say.
So it does now. And
You
it's
just have
funny
to
because I
actually-
implemented all of these things
And you
with a
need
client
to-
that needs none of this because they're so great. But it's
Now
everybody
that
caught me
you've
in-
already had every bad client,
Yeah.
now you have a good contract.
Now I have a really great
But
one.
you need to be like, hey, I work from Monday through Friday.
Yeah, I have
this
office
time to
hours.
this
I did that.
time.
Yeah, I did that with another client too, and there was
And if
zero
you want
respect for that.
something- if you want something outside of these hours,
Yeah.
and if I have time, I might agree to it at an additional cost.
Yeah.
If you want something on Saturday or Sunday, it's going to be $300. For real.
Going back to like redefining your business. Like,
Yeah.
these are the things you have to think about. Like, because the clients that aren't going to respect that, you don't want.
No, for sure. And that's what I keep telling my husband because he's like,
I think in
these
the
are pretty
beginning, we
stiff.
kind of just wanted everybody.
Oh,
Yeah.
And there's a time and a place for that. And
Yeah.
it's giving you the like experience and the knowledge to be like, I
Yeah.
do not ever want to. Like, I've signed contracts where I'm like, I'm so glad this is over at the end of the month.
yeah, you're
I'm
like, how
never
much
doing
longer?
this again.
Yeah.
Like,
all learning.
holy crap. Like, this is not my like cup of tea.
No.
But I'm like, I agree to it. It was a learning experience. And now
Yeah.
I know. Kind of like
Now you
dating.
know what to add
It's
to your
like
contract.
dating.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're like, oh, that's not.
I would never marry you.
So true.
But I think it just, and it's hard. Like, I'm
Yeah.
a yes person through and through.
Yeah.
But,
Especially
like-
because you have the skills, you have the resources, so
But
you're
I
like,
like
why
me
wouldn't
more.
I? Yeah, that's true.
Sometimes saying yes is good because it puts you outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
But you are still saying yes. You are still opening up to like help them. You're just, your value is associated with
Yes.
your time.
I think that's the problem. Since I do
You need to overvalue
everything.
yourself.
Yeah, well, okay. That's a chat for another time. Since I do everything from home, I'm just like, I have the time. My day is my oyster, whatever, and I can just say yes. And in my brain, I'm not out any money, so I don't need to make them out any money. Rather than like, we had a lawyer at one point for certain things in our lives, and that lady,
Charges for everything.
everything, $75 an hour for literally drafting an email. I'm like,
That
I beg your pardon.
It's cheap. Mine is like $250 an
Okay,
hour.
yeah.
I asked
like,
my
oh.
lawyer a question,
Yeah.
and he wrote me an email back that said, yes, that is illegal. You need to tell them that if they don't do
Right.
this, then
Yeah.
you're going to have to contact your lawyer.
That'll be $225
Yeah, I got a bill
Yeah.
for that one email.
for that email.
Well,
Yeah.
to
in
tell
my
me.
mind, it's like, if it's going to take me more than an hour, I'm going to charge you.
Yeah, that's
So
fair.
maybe like think of like, what's your like number, right? Like, if this is going to take me more than 30 minutes
Yeah.
or an hour, because I usually charge by the hour in my head.
Yeah.
I never charge by hour to a client.
Yeah.
Like,
or think about it, how long it would take them.
Oh, weeks. I'm sorry.
that's
Weeks.
true.
Because you've gained the skills to.
You paid your dues.
She'll tell me all the time when she's putting these podcasts. She's like, "Oh, that took me like 5 minutes," and I'm like, "Bullshit," because that took me an hour.
Yeah.
I'm like,
100%.
I want to take things off your plate, but man, if it's taking you 5 minutes, and yours look better than mine.
I'm already in it. I have it all set up. It's a plug and play situation for me, and it's just done.
Yeah, but you need to stop telling people it takes you 5 minutes.
Yeah. You never.
Because it took me an hour.
I said that to a client the other night. They're like, "Hey, how's the website looking?" And I'm like, "I will be ready as soon as you're ready for me to be ready. I could do it overnight." Like,
Never. Stop it. I'm going to slap your hand.
Yeah.
Because then they're like, "Oh, well, that only took her 5 minutes."
Yeah.
quick. Well, it takes me 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
How long
But
would it
that's
take?
only because you've been doing it for 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, I think, and I would agree with Janelle. I wouldn't tell people how long it takes
this
you.
took me weeks to build.
And always give yourself a cushion. Don't even say time, because
Yeah.
it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you're getting it done when
Yeah.
they need it.
Yeah.
And I think once you attach a time to it,
Then they attach a wage to it.
yeah, and they're like, well,
bitches.
that's not fair.
Yeah,
But
they're
you
like,
would do the same thing.
No, I know.
And
I quit. I'm not running a business anymore. This is too much.
it's like that story. It's like that story of this. I don't remember if it was like a plumber or it was a gasket or something. It was a plumbing situation, I think. I'm sure you've all heard the story where they had all these guys come in. They couldn't fix it. And this guy comes in, takes him 15 minutes. He changes out a gasket, blah, blah, blah. He's like, it works. And he's like, that's $2,000. They're like, but it took you 2 seconds. He's like, yeah, but it took me 25 years to learn how to do it this fast. And you asked me to fix it and I fixed it.
oh.
So it doesn't matter how long it takes you.
yeah.
It's taken you 10 years.
Yeah.
They're paying for your 10 years of experience.
Yeah.
I get
and
it,
I think on
yeah.
the flip side, it's
Actually,
like if you ask,
you're not even old enough to be.
I know.
Yeah.
It took me 10 years.
I've been doing this since 2017.
I just found out your
okay?
age today.
That's almost 10 years. 2017 to now.
She was in 2nd grade.
Stop it. I feel picked on. Very picked on
No.
today.
I think,
I'm the oldest here.
yeah, well, you're
So
also
you're-
the wisest. I would say, though, like, a plumber is a good example. Like, you wouldn't expect to, like, have a plumber come and be like, oh, by the way, there's a leak in the bathroom. Can you fix that? And them doing it for free.
True. Okay. Okay.
Like,
Oh my god. I'm itchy. I'm uncomfy. I'm itchy.
I mean,
I hate
it's not
talking money
something
with
you have to-
people.
yeah, money. But, like, at the end of the day, that's, like, it's not an icky thing.
Yeah,
it's like,
you're right.
I think like, we all understand, like, we have to make money.
No, for
Like,
sure.
I would do everything for free if I could.
Which is
But, like,
wild
I
because I
can't.
work with businesses who know they have to make money too. And but it's
Yeah.
still like,
That is funny because you are working with entrepreneurs.
isn't it? Is it funny or is it not funny? For me, it doesn't feel very funny anymore because I'm like, that's so
Like,
weird.
why
that
are you undervaluing my time? But
I'm
everyone else
making
is
you more
supposed
money.
to. Yeah.
Like that concept hit me the other day, and I was talking to my husband about it because he's talking to me about my pricing. He's like,
You are directly making the money.
I know. He's like, you're not going to have any clients if you raise your prices. And I'm like, I am making this business. Well, this is what they brought in last year, right? Of that, I got 0.01% of that
Yeah.
for them to make that much
Price
money.
gouge them.
You know
No, not that, but
Yeah.
like that's I know that my job is their traffic.
Yeah.
100% their traffic. That's how they make their money. So for me, my business makes them money. So
So I just did a Google ad.
okay.
So I just did a Google ad. Yeah. Okay. Then the Google ad said, so if this Google ad brings you in a client, if that client over a time period is worth $500, how you need to estimate how you're going to pay us, how I'm going to pay Google, is a percentage.
It's your CAC. It's your cost of acquisition.
Yes. So if that client brings in $500, for instance, then you divide that by a certain amount and then you get a percentage. So at that point, Google wanted $50 for that one client they got me
Okay.
because of their ad.
Right.
So there's a percentage of what that client is going to bring in. And, so I was like, that is interesting.
Yeah.
Because then it puts a value to that ad.
Yeah.
I mean, that's ideally how you would build a marketing budget.
Yeah.
It's not always how it happens, but
But that's
you want to, like, in medical, it's like, I have how much it costs to bring in one patient.
Yeah.
So when we're like creating a budget for like a new clinic, like that's what I'm using. Like it takes this many patients to fill a clinic. So at $25 a patient.
Yeah.
I don't know the number off the top of my head, but like this would be my budget.
Right.
That's what you should start doing. Just charge like a minimum, but then be like, okay, I want to see your revenue from, or how many new followers, and how much
bonus structure.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, maybe
I would
it's
do
different.
it.
Here's what we're gonna do. I'm interviewing
I'm gonna
you. Show me your books.
No, for real.
I don't even know if I want to work with you.
I will hire you. Okay.
Oh my god.
We can test it on me.
It'd be
Okay.
interesting.
It would be interesting because
Yeah.
okay, I want to. Okay, you want to
The
do this?
stakes are high.
It's like
So
a sales
I
commission.
I want 50 new
They don't
clients.
want that from me.
No.
Let's
I
say
mean,
we
you
get
wouldn't
a.
do like a 20% commission, but you would
I
do.
mean, let's say we get a viral reel in there.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but that's not a direct
That's not a direct.
paying customer.
It
Right.
could be.
It could
So-
be, but I would say
Yeah.
Anyways,
You can test it out on me. I want 50 new I want 50 new members in 6 months, and then you can have a percentage of that.
Oh wow. Interesting. But here's the thing that I've also been.
so let me adjust my
Let
glasses.
me think about
here.
that for a minute. Here's the other thing, though. I don't want that directly associated with my performance, if you
Yeah.
will, with my delivery.
That's true.
Because my whole purpose is to drive traffic.
Bring
So the
awareness,
traffic gets
yeah.
there. Once the traffic gets there,
Because you don't know if they were shitty to them once they got
right,
there.
right,
Oh,
like
that's
it's
true.
on them. Because I do
That's
have a
true.
client that,
Because you don't have the full circle. You don't have control over the full circle.
and I don't see the
That's
back end
true.
of that either. Like, are they really signing up, or is this client just saying they're not signing up?
Yeah,
Or
and
like,
with social, like you could have a bad month and a really good month. It's
yeah,
like,
it just all
balances
depends on
out.
everything. And I do have a client that's like, oh, our bookings are down and they've been down since you started, blah, blah, blah. They were higher before. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, okay. But everything else is up. Like their reach is up, their engagement's up. Like from
true.
a social media standpoint, I've done my job. Like
Yes.
your views are higher.
Let's
you
look at your
have,
systems in place now.
yeah, you have
There
more
you go.
link
There's your
clicks.
upsell.
You did it for me,
I know.
and it's great.
Oh, I think that's
Thanks.
like we talked about reviewing your business, right?
Yeah.
And like retaining clients and how you can
Yeah.
add value.
Yeah.
Like
There you go.
that's
Be like, hey,
a great
$1,000
value
for me to
add.
evaluate. You're losing something here.
At that point, though,
Because we did that on her website.
Yeah.
I know you did it and I
Yeah.
reviewed it.
Yeah.
the committee reviewed it, and
And
yeah,
it's true because I was
Yeah.
like, as somewhat like I was a regular member for a
Yeah,
while, and
yeah.
then I moved, and now I can't bring myself to come to Medford that often.
Yeah.
But it's like, I know your business, and I don't feel like your website is accurately portraying
yeah,
what you're offering. Like
Right.
it's hard to navigate.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, if
We're
you
losing
can't get
people.
someone to like click and book,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
people have the like patience of a goldfish.
No, right. The attention span of
Myself
a
included.
toddler.
Yeah,
like it's
true.
not. You have to catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were like, you're losing people. Like,
Yeah.
You're losing them here. And then you fixed it.
Yeah,
I hope
the
I
new
fixed
website
it.
looks great.
Show me your stats. Are they better?
I don't even know.
I'm
how
gonna
to
get
look
in there
at
and
them.
look. Send
Like
me
I
the
didn't even know
approval code.
you did the website, and
Oh.
I went on to book, and I was like, "Ooh,
I know.
I like." And I texted her, I
Thanks.
was like,
Yes, you
"Good
did.
job." She's like, "Mo did it." I was like,
Aw,
"That checks out."
okay. Yeah. So fun.
Yeah,
Yeah. See, that makes sense to me. And websites are great too because you can literally see
everything.
everything. You can see where people are clicking. You can see how long they were on a page or where they're falling off a page and everything. So I really like being able to see all that and see where the problem is. Social media can be a little bit different because you don't really
this
see where people
upsell
are falling
thing.
out.
I like this upsell thing that you're saying.
So much easier to
Because
retain clients.
I
if you're
do
going to get a
too.
complaint like that, then you need to be like, okay, well, then there's something's wrong because you're getting the traffic, you're losing them somewhere. So let me help you evaluate that.
My worry with that is I feel
if-
like this particular
Well, yeah, you just need a new client.
client, like what if they're like, I've already paid you this much and it's not turning over clients, like then what?
They're losing.
They're not going to want to pay
They're like,
me
okay.
more.
It's just like I
See you
Like,
later.
no, you did your job on the one end.
Yeah, for sure.
Every
Now you should be able to
contract-
deliver on another end.
True.
every proposal I send out has like, here's the initial agreement, and here are all the other things I could do down the road if you wish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do that.
No.
And like and they will come back because they don't like people don't know what you do.
It's just my systems. I think,
Yeah.
like you were
Same
saying,
with
it's a
vitality.
problem.
Like you know, they come in for cryo, a cold plunge, and you're like, did you know we have compression?
Yeah.
Like, we have all these, like,
Yeah.
cool offerings. Like, hey,
Have you
we
been to the basement?
No, it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, even in medical, like, people come in for a doctor's appointment, and then they're like, oh, you do all these other things?
Yeah.
Like,
true.
I can't tell you how many patients didn't, like, know we did all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do you not know? It's, like, everywhere.
That's how
everywhere.
I feel. Well, even like I think one time you said to me something about, oh, I didn't know, blah, 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 increased testosterone. I was like, I've said that. I've said that so many times. But the thing is, in my mind, I thought I've said it so many
You
times.
think you're repeating yourself, but there are people that still have no clue.
But that was probably 6 months ago. That was probably a year ago. And it took me a long time to make that real. So in my mind, I just said it.
But
That's why I
that's
tell
where
people on social
reality.
media, like, we're gonna repeat ourselves
Oh,
over
always.
and over and over on purpose because not everybody's seeing it the first time, the second time, the third time. We're just gonna keep saying it. So if you are seeing it again, and if it is a repeat for you, it's gonna be stuck in your head now.
Totally.
It's a
you
win-win.
You gotta hear or see something 7 times for it to stick.
Yeah. I had a guy come
It's
in
like
today.
radio. If you think of, like, have you ever, like, the radio commercials?
True.
How many times they say the same thing over and over again?
There's a
In the
statistic. I
same
think you
ad?
need to hear something 7 times
7,
before
yeah.
you'll actually do
Yeah.
it.
See it, hear it. Yeah. So, like, and that's the hard thing with marketing, like, for you know, like, you see the social numbers, but,
Yeah.
like, someone comes in and they, like, you know, most businesses are like, how do you hear about us? And it's like,
That's not
oh,
even
so-and-so
accurate.
told me.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, you saw, like, the ad, and then you, like, saw it on social media, then, like, you heard about
And
it.
then a friend of a
and
friend
then
reminded you.
reminded you. And then
So it's not really accurate.
It's not.
Yeah.
I don't even ask that question really anymore because it's not accurate.
It's really not.
It's
It's
not.
hard to, and it's like, which is frustrating from Mark because you want to show results and like digital's really the only thing you can directly tie to numbers. But like, I do like DJ endorsements for some of my clients and like, but you can't track radio. You hear
Very
it on the
hard.
radio and, you know, or there's, you know, events or things like that. It's like, yeah, they might say I saw you at an event, but like, was that really what they like the determining
the hook?
factor? Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they come up to you at a table and they're like, oh yeah, I heard about you, tell me more. And that might have like sealed the deal, but it's like,
Right.
it takes a lot more.
Where was that seed planted?
And it goes back
Exactly.
to where,
Yeah.
you know, like, there's a lot of people that think, oh, all they just need is social media. That's the only marketing they need. And it's like, it's a lot harder to, like, to be competitive on social media.
Yeah.
Like, I
It
think
was
from the
easier 3 years ago when
Yeah.
I first got
When
on social
Reels
media.
first came out.
Oh yeah, and I was like, if you post about me on social media, you know, you'll get buy a week, get a week. That's what I did when I first started.
Yeah.
And people came in and they were like, oh my God, you are overtaking social media. But
Yeah.
that's because it was easier on social media. If I did the exact same, actually, I did do the exact same thing last year.
Yeah.
And didn't make a difference.
Yeah.
Because social media is so saturated now.
But I still think it's important.
We were
but
just
it shouldn't
talking-
be your only strategy.
We were just talking about how when our dads were running their businesses and they would pay for ads, they would pay for yellow pages, they would pay. And I think businesses were used to paying for marketing. And now we've gotten so far away from paying for marketing with social media and all these free things that you can do. People aren't as willing to pay for marketing.
Or they just don't have the numbers.
Yeah.
But I know from like, for a while, like I've been like telling you to grow your email list because those are like like those are people that signed up. They want to know your.
They want to hear from you.
They want to. It's free.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and that's where automation comes in too. Like you have a new client or a new
flow.
customer, a new whatever.
Yeah.
And like put a flow in place.
Yeah.
And like educate them on all the services
I did that for you.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like,
I got them myself because I signed up for them myself.
Perfect. You're welcome.
but it also saves you time and
Yeah.
to do the things that you want to do. And now you're not like, you know, spending your time educating them
Having
on
to
what you
nurture the clients
do.
yourself.
Yeah.
And the same
Yeah.
go for clients. Like I've been reading and thinking about how to implement this in my own business instead of doing like, you know, these like free consult calls to see if it's even a good fit. Like set up
Yeah.
a flow
Yeah.
and let them know of all the things you do and like your story and your pricing, or like I guess pricing could be different, but like give them the background information first and then the options like schedule on your calendar.
Yeah.
Which you can use Motion, by the way.
I saw
I'm
that.
going to get it, you guys. I'm going to get it after this, and it's going to change my life. And this intervention's been great.
It's like automating things and it's like so you can focus on the things that matter. Like at the end of the day, we only have like so many like
true.
hours in the day, and like
Automations, though, like sometimes too many automations.
Agreed. If they reply, they should go to a real person.
Yeah.
That was my, like,
Yeah.
you can't, that's my soapbox. Like,
Yeah.
you have to be, like, even all your, like, the emails you send out, you could have 2,000 email subscribers.
Yeah.
If they reply, they need to go to a real person. And
Yeah.
you need to respond to them within, like,
But even like
24 hours?
Instagram, even like
I'd say 2 to 3
Instagram,
days.
Oh.
there's like automations that I get, and I won't. I had automations for my Instagram. If someone started whatever following me, then they would get an automation.
Right.
People won't reply to those.
No.
They know it's an automation. The moment that I get on my social media and I message every new person personally,
Yeah.
with pretty much the same gibberish, they'll reply to me.
People like people.
People like people.
They want to feel connected to
They
a
don't
person.
want automations.
Too many robots.
Yeah. Unless you're using ManyChat, which I really like. Because people are asking for that automation. They know it's an automation. When you say comment, shop,
Comment this.
and I'll send you the
Yes.
links to shop online or
want it.
whatever.
True.
They're asking for it. So they're going to check it. They're going to use it rather than being lazy and not going to your link in bio and losing them there.
And that's a great fine
Yeah.
automation. It's just
Yeah.
some of them you're like, you're losing some clients because you're not personalizing it. enough.
Yeah.
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 And I also think there's a part of people, like, yeah, it's a great service, but people are coming to Vitality because of you.
No, literally.
Because of the community.
Or like, there are so many marketing and business consultants out there. Like, people don't, like, they're coming to me because I'm me.
They love
Like,
you and they
it's my
trust you.
personality.
Yeah.
Like, I do not do any marketing for myself, and I have a wait list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, because people talk.
Yeah.
And so, but like, I don't mesh with everyone. And it's like, but like, I think you have to have, your business is your personality.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's hard because it's like, you have to also have that separation, right? Like, I think a lot of people think that their business is like their second child or fifth child.
Okay. Yeah.
100th child.
Which
Okay.
I can't even imagine running my own business and not be a family. But like,
Yeah, it's fine. Everything's
no,
fine.
yeah, but like, no, good for you. But
Oh,
it's
thanks.
also like finding something that works for your life and not
Yeah.
the other way around. And it's like, it doesn't have to be this like grind and this like extra stress and overwhelm. Like, there's a way to make it fit into your life, and you will you will get more clients because of that.
Yeah.
Because people, like, not to get too woo woo, because like,
Woo it up.
but
We're
like,
all woo-woo
people,
here.
Yeah.
you're attracted to energy. Energy attracts energy.
Yeah.
Like, there's a scientific backing to this. Like, we are all balls of energy in a meat suit.
Okay.
In a meat
Right.
suit.
You had me at balls. Okay.
Can my meat suit be more meaty?
Yeah, why not?
I get
like,
more muscle.
Energy is like a
Yeah.
thing, and like,
Yeah.
we've all seen it. Like, you even stand behind someone with low energy in the grocery store, and you're like, I wonder what's
I
wrong
feel
with that
icky.
person.
Yeah. I literally have been with this whole, not even a rebrand, restructuring, we'll say, we'll call it. There are
Yeah,
things.
you're not allowed to rebrand for
I know.
another year.
I know. I just did. I know. Okay. I have 500 business cards. I'm not rebranding that I haven't handed out to anybody. There are, I mean, I tell my husband everything. I don't have any friends. So I told my husband, there are certain people that I have for clients right now that are weighing me down. It's taking up more time than it should. And I feel like if I don't get rid of those, I'm not going to be given anything else. Like, that's going to be my tribe. I'm attracting my tribe right now. And right now it's low budget, high maintenance. And as soon as I sent out one email letting one of them know we're good from here, I got this massive, amazing client. Like right after. I was like,
Yeah, you gotta let go.
Yeah.
Of that control.
Yeah.
And that's something I sat with too. It's like the minute I quit my corporate job,
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna take a break.
yeah, right.
Husband's gonna be my sugar daddy. It's
Yeah,
gonna
right.
be great. And then it was like less than a
Boom.
month, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god, I'm like making more money now than I made
Yeah.
as like a high level executive.
I remember that. You're like, I'm overwhelmed. This happened so
It was
fast.
like a fire hose.
Yeah.
But like was and still kind of like queen of control. Like,
Yeah.
I want to like
my
understand every
Yeah.
single thing.
Yeah. Oh my
That's
god.
us.
But
Yeah.
it's like at the end of the day, like the minute I let go and just was like, you know what happened, what happened. I have savings. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have to work for 3 months.
Yeah.
Like, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so nice. I'm gonna like
Gonna have a nice
rest,
break.
and I'm gonna like
It's like
hang
you're
out
telling
in my
everyone,
hammock.
I'm gonna retire to my garden and my
Oh my gosh,
chickens.
I know, and I was like,
Keep
can I do
telling
that
everyone
with you?
retiring.
But yeah, it just kind of worked, and I was like, okay. But then I think back, like every time something like really major has happened, like good in my life, it's when I've been like, whatever,
Okay.
like our relationship, like our house, like now in my career, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
the invitation was there. I just had to open up space.
Yeah.
And so like I think it goes with business, right? When you're like trying to get everyone. Like when I'm like, well, who's your audience? They're like, everyone. I'm like,
Anybody.
okay.
Oh my god.
Okay. That's gonna be a little tricky.
Yeah.
And I get it because you're like starting
just
out
take
fresh
everyone.
and you just
Yeah.
need the
You
money.
need somebody. Yeah. Bodies in the door.
But like, and I think that works short term, but like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like you have to find who your people are.
I've like given massage before when I first started massage, and I'm like, I'll take anybody, right?
Yeah.
And you have
And-
to. That's just how it is.
But in massage, they're like, you'll find your tribe. Like your tribe will come to you. And I was massaging somebody, and you know, I really just wanted, and you know, I just like, ooh, hopefully they book with me next, which is usually what everything was. And this girl and I, she and I just, you know, I still gave her a great massage, but I was like, I hope she doesn't book.
Oh, she never comes back.
And she didn't. And it's great because,
Oh my
and you know, you can't let your, like you said, you can't let your ego get involved in a lot of things because it's like, I could have been like, well, what didn't she like? Why didn't she like me?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I didn't like her either.
Yeah.
And I love every, and it's not like I
was a
don't
good-
like
not a good
her.
fit.
Like, I like her fine. Like, she's a nice human being where our energies just didn't match. And it was like, in a lot of our businesses, are very personal. Everything we do is pretty personal. And it's like, you have to vibe with people. Don't just, like, if you lose somebody, just let it go.
Yeah.
And, like, it'll be fine. The universe will give you your tribe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
it
think
gets your
goes
ego
both
in
ways,
check.
too,
Like, it's okay to not be liked.
Yeah, I know. That's a big one. I don't know if I'm there yet.
Well, because obviously I didn't like this person.
Yeah.
I liked him fine. We just, you know.
Yeah.
And it's okay that they didn't like you back.
Yeah, and I don't even know if it's about liking. It's just not a good fit.
It's just not a good fit of energy. Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
Thank you, Bridget,
Yeah,
for joining
of
us.
course.
We could probably talk forever.
Always.
This was a lovely intervention, ladies. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
You
I
got a lot
had no
to think
clue it was
about.
coming.
I'm going to get motion and I'm going to start there
Yeah.
because you guys won't quit about motion. So I'm going to get that first.
And upsell. I hate the word
And
upsell,
upsell.
though.
I know, but it is there for a reason
it sounds
because
salesy.
you're right.
Yeah.
People
Not.
wouldn't
We
know
need
what
to
else
come
you
up with a
have.
different word. But like, if
Upsell.
you identify a problem,
Yeah.
You need to
like that's your whole.
help people as a whole.
Yeah, that's definitely something that I'm doing with my business. Like with this new client, they're a startup, and he basically was like, "Hey, I know you do social media. Do you build websites?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "How about those emails? I keep getting your emails. Do you do those too?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "How about YouTube?" I'm like, "Yeah."
But you had to ask. Like, if there was a way for you to like
Yeah.
put it all out there.
Yeah. I mean, it's on my website, but yeah, no. Oh,
No, I do talk to a lot of people, and I'm like, oh yeah, Mo redid my website, and they're like, she does that? Mm-hmm. I'm like, I know. That's
I feel
the
like
thing,
you've
though.
been doing websites longer than you've been doing social.
it's true.
Yeah, because you
But
did
I think people
ours.
see your
Yeah.
social more regularly.
That's why I posted your website on there because I'm like, people don't know I do websites. This is crazy. I've done One Peak's website. Like, I'm kind of a big deal. But yeah, I do all kinds of websites. So yeah,
It blows my mind when people
Yeah.
tell me they don't know something. Blows my mind.
right? Because again, we feel like we're just repeating ourselves.
I know. All the time.
You
Yeah.
probably don't know what other people do either.
Yeah.
We're all living in our own little worlds.
I know.
Until it's right moment, right, like
Yeah.
right thing, right time.
Yeah. It's true.
By the way, everyone, Mo does websites.
Call me if you need a website.
All right.
All right,
Amazing.
wrap it up.
Well, see you next time on the Dirty Business Podcast.